on Destination Polaris, an exclusive look behind the scenes at Polaris Industries.
Oh, here we go. Pedal to the metal.
It is the biggest and baddest Ace we've produced yet.
Ace, Ace, baby. Destination Polaris starts right now. Welcome to Destination Polaris. So this year, we've been around the world featuring some of the best places to ride. We've also showcased the entire Polaris fleet. But now, there's a new addition to the family. Today we're making history with Polaris Industries and helping build some of their brand new Ace 900 SPs. Check it out, here she is.
We literally talked to hundreds of consumers, and we're excited to bring the Ace 900 SP this year to market because there's a group of customers that are looking for more power and more performance. This vehicle boasts the ProStar 900, a 60 horsepower EFI engine. That's kind of the hallmark feature of this vehicle.
Polaris Industries is a worldwide off-roading icon. The company may have gotten its start because of snowmobiles, but in 1985, they unveiled their first all-terrain vehicle, and it took on a life of its own. After years of success with Sportsman, Ranger, and Razors, in January of 2014, Polaris introduced a new category of off-roading, the revolutionary Ace. 6 months later, they brought in the Ace 570. 4 months after that, the Ace 570 SP. And now, the Ace 900 SP. Today we're going where few have gone. We have VIP access of some of the first ever Ace 900 SPs being built.
Welcome, Lindsay, to Milford, Iowa, and our manufacturing center of excellence for the Polaris Ace products. So welcome, we're happy to have you.
Well, Ben, it's nice to see you again, and you guys are definitely a game changer when it comes to off-road vehicles. And you have done it again.
We have. The Ace 900 is really going to be fun. We're going to take you through building it from the ground up today.
So this place, a lot of working parts right behind us here.
365,000 square feet here. We run 24/7. We weld, we paint, we assemble, we receive products. So it's a big facility, a lot going on.
So James, they tell me it starts here in the welding department.
Correct. This is the backbone of the Ace 900. We weld 9 of the major components for the structure and build it right here in shop.
All right, well, let's go in here and check it out.
All right, let's check it out.
This really is a work of art. 9 parts, all built from scratch. The cage, seat base, and major metal components.
So they're building the backbone machine. They're building what keeps that driver safe.
And while the team builds the backbone, their blueprint is the brainchild of Polaris engineers.
You don't just build one and get it right. There's a lot of iterating. We build prototypes and we test in a variety of conditions to get that final solution just right.
And once the raw parts are done, then they go through the wash system, right, Shane?
Correct. They've went through a 5-stage washer, and then they go through their final RO dip tank, which is about 12 foot deep, and it's about as clean as lake water.
12 feet deep. Looks almost like a swimming pool. You got your very own swimming pool, but do you swim in it?
No, we don't swim in it. It's just a final rinse stage, so it just takes off any contaminants that the wash system didn't before it goes into our E-coat system.
Just one big giant car wash, huh?
Yep, that's kind of what it is. Cleans all the parts so it's ready to be painted.
How cool.
And after the parts are washed, they're then E-coated and prepped for painting.
After E-coat, as you can see, the parts come through our powder booth. Parts are actually have an electrostatical charge in there, and it makes the powder attract. And then you can see the painters are touching it up now, and you can see that paint just adhering to the part.
And they're wearing some fancy suits.
Yeah, it's more of to keep the powder off their clothes, because if you get in there and you get static on your body, and then paint will adhere to you. And as a bigger guy, you tend to get more paint on you, and you'll come out of there and you'll look like Pigpen from Charlie Brown.
Well, we don't want that, but I do
No.
want to try that. So, can I have a suit?
You bet you can. We'll give you a shot at her.
I didn't wake up this morning thinking I'd be wearing this. Up next, these guys mean business, and I'm going to help them paint. You're watching Destination Polaris.
Destination Polaris is sponsored by Super ATV, your trusted source for high-quality off-road parts and accessories. And by Progressive Insurance. Think easier, think Progressive. And by Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
Welcome back to the show. Well, one of the first things you're going to notice about the new Ace 900 SP is the power. Let's now get back to this build and find out more about this new engine. Well, here we go.
Check out these paint guns. After the parts are powder coated, they then cycle through here for a final touch-up. This guarantees corrosion protection.
I don't know about this suit, but I like the painting. It's like Ghostbusters, right?
From the fancy car wash to the finished part, this process takes about 4 hours.
Well, Nicole, painting was really fun, but now we've got to get to assembly, right?
Exactly. Some of our parts are built here. These are parts that come from our vendors.
Okay.
So what we do is we take them out and we repack them onto assembly racks for the assembly line. We are ready to go.
Off to assembly.
So with this new 900 that we're building, there's about 147 different components on that machine compared to what we've been building in the past. So there's a lot of new learning for our assemblers and a lot of new parts that they're having to get used to and start to learn how to assemble and put together. Okay, Lindsay, here we are at our first station. This is frame load. So what you'll see over here is the manipulator picking up the mainframe and putting on the skid plate.
The frame manipulator does the heavy lifting. It holds the main frame in the air so that the skid plate can be attached underneath.
And that skid plate is what keeps the rocks and the dirt and all of the debris from getting inside of your motor and inside of your vehicle. So then from there, they'll take their brake assembly and they put that into the bottom of the main frame and they route it onto each side. So you have your calipers that come out and attach to your brake discs for on your wheels. These parts here are your front calipers, and there's also the brake junction block along with where the brake fluid is filled.
Time to take the Ace to a new level. Go big or go home. The 60 horsepower ProStar 900 EFI engine.
I'm excited about this new motor. It's going to give a lot of zip to this machine and it's going to turn it into a really great product.
So obviously with the 900, we've got a lot more power, and this is the exciting part.
Yes.
The engine and the transmission coming together.
Yes.
What's new on this?
There's going to be a difference in the head of the motor. That's going to be larger. There's also not an air box on here. It gets put on further on down the line. The motor mounts are going to be different. They're going to be more aggressive. As our carriers advance down the line, they go to each job station, and each individual operator has a particular process that they do. Here, Jane is working on putting on the throttle pedal and the brake pedal, that part that you don't use.
Do you hear that noise? As we work, randomly these lights start blinking, followed by this song.
It's dancing time.
Well, that was fun, but that's not what the music is for. Meet Kara Kramer. She's the team lead in Ace Zone 1.
There is a purpose to the music.
Yeah.
And when the music is someone needs help or has
Absolutely.
a question, and she is the girl.
Yep, our and-on system is a huge system here. It drives every operator if they have any questions at all. They turn on their light and send one of us leads over. And our job is to come help them, whether they need a part order, they don't have time to scan their tickets to get their part here, or they're having a major weld issue, control arm issue, can't fit things up. Our job is to hop in, grab the tools that are needed, and keep that line moving. We don't like this light to be on more than it has to.
So they've reinforced the material with the A-arms so that people are able to drive faster. So we want to ensure that our customers are safe and that they're getting the best ride out of their product.
And the front A-arms are a little bit different than the 570, right?
Right. You're going to have a different bar that goes here. It's going to be a lot shorter. And then we've got our CV shield here that is the significant difference. This one has a rounded curve for our 570s, and it gets seated like this. We've got 3 screws here. Our 900s is going to have a very flat CV shield.
And another exciting feature, new suspension. Up next, we're going to do the install. You're watching Destination Polaris.
Destination Polaris is sponsored by Allstate. Are you in good hands? And by Aluma Trailers, the best aluminum trailers available. And by SSV Works, the leader in off-road weatherproof audio systems. SSV Works, make some noise.
Welcome back to Destination Polaris. Here is your exclusive look at the first Polaris Ace 900 SP fleet.
It's built for the off-road. Over 8 inches of front suspension travel and 9.5 inches of rear suspension travel. So it gives you a plush, comfortable ride as you go down the trail. It's got over 360 pounds of payload carrying capacity. It can tow up to 1,500 pounds. It's got a receiver hitch built in. It's got a low range. So this really brings the best of both worlds for the guy or gal that wants a trail ride in comfort, as well as someone that has some property they want to maintain and enjoy the comforts of a hard-working vehicle.
And a bigger engine required a suspension upgrade.
Our front suspension is built up with our shocks and our springs, along with our rear suspension is the same way. Each of our vehicles have customized shocks depending on which vehicle it is. Lindsay, we're going to have you help us out with a little bit of assembly here. This is our strut assembly that we're putting together. We have the casting, we have the shock, the dampener, and next we'll be putting on the spring.
Springs, okay? You are gonna show me and then I'll do as you do. How does that sound? Okay, putting that on. There you go, nuts. Okay,
And what these fixtures replicate is the way it would sit on the machine.
on the machine as well.
Yes.
Oh, now we get to use the power tools. Shocking. I actually got it done well. I know that is shocking.
Then we'll get into the portion of the line where we put in our fuel tank, attach the battery to the vehicle. And then as we get further down the line, then we'll start working on our plastics.
I could get used to this.
As I was restocking the bins, the Ace team installed the floor, our front cab, and the front and rear box.
Once we get into where we put our graphics on, that's when you get to see some color. That's when it gets to get a little bit of excitement added to it, and it gives it that sporty appeal.
No need for gloves. It's time for graphics, right, Tammy?
Yep. We line up the lines, take your squeegee, take the top cover off.
Get ready. Here's the unveil. New graphics for that 900. Get out the rest of those little air bubbles, right?
Yep.
Wow, it looks sharp. All right, hopefully I took notes. Switching spots. Like this?
Yep.
Okay. Squeegee back.
Cross.
Across.
Go around the curve.
Okay.
There you go.
Moment of truth. How many air bubbles will there be?
Good job. No air bubbles.
No air bubbles. Yeah. I like it. Nice job.
The new graphics are sharp. Black plastic offset with white and gray and a splash of cherry red. And they match the new tires, too.
Our tires on these are excellent. They're a brand new tire. They have new rims. They're smoked aluminum, so they're kind of got that classy, sporty look. They're an exciting new addition to our 900 vehicle.
And now it's time for tires. And Brad, this has a little bit different look than the 570.
Yep, it's smoked aluminum.
Smoked aluminum in the middle. All right, let's get these on. Who doesn't love brand new tires? Oh, that's right. You told me about this.
Brett, having an assistant, things should go faster, but...
They should. There you go.
Oh, I was close. Oh my gosh, now what is this thing?
All right, this is torque sum.
Twerk or torque? Which is it?
I think it's torque.
Tires are done. They look good.
The Ace assembly line typically produces 35 of these daily, and each vehicle goes through an extensive rolling road test. It tests the engine, brakes, acceleration, among other things. And once it passes the test, it's prepped for shipping. Up next, from the mountains to the North Woods, time to test drive. You're watching Destination Polaris.
Destination Polaris is sponsored by Polaris Visa Card. Power your passion. Earn Polaris cash on all of your purchases. And by Brimstone Recreation Area, where the journey is your reward.
Welcome back to the show. So now it's time to have some fun and test drive the Ace 900 SP. And my motto is, be the leader of the pack so you don't eat dust or dirt.
Today we're in Wyoming, Minnesota. This is one of our largest product development facility centers. We've got over 600 acres and countless miles of varied trails, wet and muddy to rocky and nasty. It's a great place to do a bit of a proving grounds, if you will. We test literally thousands and thousands of miles, hundreds of hours, all across the globe, really. The bulk of our time is spent in North America, of course, but we test from the prairies, so to speak, in the plains, all the way up into mountains to get up to altitude. We really try and test in a variety of conditions. It's a really rigorous test process, not only from field testing, but also lab testing. We do a lot of work in the lab to simulate that off-road riding experience so that we can make decisions faster and more repeatable, and ultimately to get to a better solution. With the Ace 900 SP, we've spent a lot of time tuning this vehicle to get it not only to deliver the big power, 60 horsepower, and that exhilarating and just a ton of fun, but also we spend a lot of time to make sure that the chassis is tuned properly for the vehicle. Ride and handling, the drivability of it, to make sure that it's very predictable and confidence-inspiring for a wide variety of customers. This vehicle boasts the ProStar 900, a 60 horsepower EFI engine. That's kind of the hallmark feature of this vehicle. But we also have brought in dual rate rear springs, a front stabilizer bar to give you even more confidence-inspired handling. In addition to that, the vehicle does come standard with power steering, which makes it very easy to drive. It's got a very nimble and agile feel. They're surrounded by their cab frame, and they kind of have their own little environment. It's like a cocoon in a sense, where they've got their audio and their tunes, and they've got a roof overhead, and they can explore the outdoors and enjoy it in a way that's very comfortable. So we're thrilled to have brought this whole package together that complements, not only power and performance, but a comfortable vehicle, a capable vehicle, and a very confidence-inspiring vehicle.
Well, tearing it up is a hard day's work, but somebody's got to do it. The Polaris Ace 900 SP was fun to ride. That'll do it for this week on Destination Polaris.